what types of foods are best for migraines? And are there any food or drinks that they should avoid for migraines?
Indeed, there's getting to be more and more literature about this, and our whole understanding of migraine headaches, these thunderbolt headaches that people get that puts you in a dark room, vomiting, the hold in your head, wondering where you left your revolver. They're that bad. They just stop your lives. It's a dreadful thing to have. Although there's all sorts of variations and gradations. Some people can have seizure-like activity, etc. Some people have olfactory migraines, or they have smell sensations. But the garden variety migraine is just fearsome. We used to think that it was having to do with the coverings of the brain, the dilated blood vessels throbbing. But now we see it's more on the inside. It's almost related to seizure activity. It's deep within the brain tissue itself. What can set it off, and what things can we do to prevent that? Well, we'll get to the food in a minute, but at the risk of stating the obvious, certainly when people are under stress, and you can postulate all sorts of mechanisms how this works, but people who are under stress certainly get more migraines, and these are stressful times we're living in, aren't they? People who don't get enough sleep deprivation precipitates migraines. If you're around smoke, whether it's actual tobacco smoke, or industrial fumes or whatever, that can certainly set it off. Make sure there's good ventilation wherever you are. When people are really hungry, they can get migraine headaches, and so packing an extra sweet potato or an apple with you is a good idea. As far as the actual, and the weather, sometimes I can't do much about that, but some people, when the weather changes, when low pressure systems move in, they can precipitate a headache there. But that's one thing we're messing up the weather, but we're not enough to control migraines, unfortunately. So as far as actual foods go, we'll talk about the specifics, but it's turning out that low-fat diets are really important, and that's even the vegan fats. Lots of lots of avocados and nut butters, and certainly vegetable oils are not the friend of the person with migraine. So a low-fat plant-based diet, a couple of walnuts is fine, a little bit of avocado, but by and large, gorging out on high-fat foods it opens the door to migraines. Alcohol certainly does this, and it's such a toxic molecule for every organ in the body, but it makes migraines worse. So if you're looking for a reason to stop drinking and got migraines, that's certainly one reason. Low fat and stop the alcohol is very important. Now, things to do that would help. It's turning out that ginger seems to be very helpful. The very first sign of a headache, whether you chew up a piece of ground up ginger, there's ginger in capsules or ginger tea, but ginger has been shown to head off migraines at the past. Caffeine can help. And if you are prone to taking a pain reliever like Tylenol, acetaminophen, taking it with or following it with a caffeinated beverage with some green tea or some coffee that potentiates the action of the analgesic, so we consider that. But very importantly, and it sounds trite to say this, but a whole food plant-based diet is really important, especially emphasizing the dark green leafy vegetables. Why? Because they have magnesium in them, and magnesium has an anti-migraine effect. And green vegetables have molecules in it that binds an enzyme, CGRP. Won't go into the chemistry of that, but it precipitates migraines, and dark green leafies inhibit that enzyme. So if you are a person, a migraineur, someone who gets these migraine headaches, you want to be on a low-fat, plant-based diet, emphasizing those dark green leafy vegetables on a daily basis. Stay away from even the obvious fatty foods, the avocados and the nut butters, and be very judicious about alcohol, but use caffeine to potentiate any analgesics. If you do that, there's a good chance that the whole migraine thing will fade in the rearview mirror. I've had folks graduate from a standard American diet and they're eating their bacon and eggs and their burgers and their pizzas. And for whatever reason, their husband had a heart attack, whatever, they went on a whole food plant-based diet. And a year later, I haven't had a migraine in a year. Yes, there's all sorts of reasons why that might happen. So won't need to recap it for a third time here, but if you follow that dietary pattern, there's a good chance your migraine headaches will fade into the rearview mirror, and that's what I wish for everybody who suffers with that very painful disorder. Hope that helps. Hi everyone, Dr. Michael Klaper here, announcing our new format for our Q&A with Dr. K. Each day, Annie Hagen will be asking me one question that's been sent in by our viewers. So if you want to see if your question is getting answered, do join us for our daily Q&A with Dr. K right here. Hope to see you then.